All right, well, you guys look great tonight. My daughter's been on me for years to up my fashion game, and I took their advice. That's why I'm rocking these relaxed fit skinny jeans tonight. This is what my skin looks like under here. It's not a pretty sight. The basics, I'm a lawyer. My last name is Loss, L-O-S-S. You can read all about me on my website, yourlossismygain.com. I've got archived on there the greatest jokes on the name Loss, like Loss is a great name for a lawyer. Are you a total loss? Are you lost? Are you at a loss? I also have on there the deals. This month, I'm running a Groupon on speeding tickets in Kansas City. So it's good till the end of the month, so jump on there and take advantage of it. I've been a lawyer for a long time. The first 20 years, I was what you would call a silk stocking lawyer. I only wore silk stockings once. I want that to be known. Not something I'm proud of, but it was a lot of work. You know, you do a lot of law talk and law typing and law arguing, and you go to court and explain to your client what happened. I learned one thing: don't ever agree to take your client home after a trial, because I did, and we lost, and that was the longest car drive I ever had. But I knew there had to be a better way, so I got together with my friends Keith and Bridget, who are here tonight, and we decided to write a book. They helped me. It's called Just Plead Guilty. This is a real book. There's a picture on the back to prove it. I didn't think this all the way through. As this book climbed up the bestseller list, my practice went down, down, down. And so I said, I got to write another book. So for the people who did not follow my advice, I wrote a book, Don't Worry, We'll Appeal. And then Christmas was coming, and I needed another book for my box set. So I wrote How to Make the Best Out of the Next 5 to 10 Years of Your Life. Using Feng Shui to make your cell your home. And these guys are starting to get out now, so I thought it'd be fun to catch up with them. To my surprise, they were very upset with me. And I said, what's the deal, guys? They said, well, we were innocent. He said, I never thought of that. So I've written a fourth book, Just Plead Guilty Revisited. Maybe I was wrong. To understand me, you have to realize my roots. I grew up on the mean streets of Kenosha, Wisconsin, on the shores of Lake Michigan. Wisconsin is the dairy state, and they take that very seriously. I realized when I was about 3 that I couldn't keep any dairy products down. And I knew a couple of my friends who had the same problem, and they went to Illinois and never came back. So I wanted to keep it a secret. So it wasn't too hard. Family dinners, I'd sit next to the family dog and feed her all my dairy products. She grew to be 100 pounds, but my secret was safe. And I didn't want to call attention to myself, so I had to keep my weight up. So I substituted donuts for dairy. I did everything a red-blooded Wisconsin boy would do. I took part in the 4-H program, Better Living Through Cheese. My idea for a cheese substitute for plastic won a blue ribbon. I won the cow tipping contest at Holstein Days. And then the senior year, I aced the mandatory cheese appreciation class. Even today, I can take a look at a Gouda, take one sniff, and tell you where it came from. So I was pulling off, but I was very relieved when I got to go to college so I could relax. So I joined LISA, the Lactose Intolerant Student Association. We got together with GIFS Up, the Gluten-Free Student Association, and had a mixer. The most remarkable thing is we couldn't serve any refreshments. We didn't know what would work for everybody. So I was feeling good about myself, so I went home at Thanksgiving. I sat my parents down. I said, Mom and Dad, I want you to know something. First of all, this is not a choice. I was born this way. I can't eat cheese. Before I knew it, I was on the set of the intervention show on Bravo, whisked off to a rehab center in Phoenix, Arizona, forced to drink milkshakes, finally escaped with 2 other guys. We called ourselves the Tozers, and well, we all knew we couldn't go back home, but we found a sanctuary city, and that's Kansas City. They've welcomed us with open arms, so I want to thank everybody for that. I'm an empty nester. My kids have grown up and moved out. To make sure they don't come back, I moved into a 1-bedroom apartment. I decided it's time to get back in the dating game, so I finally found a website that met my needs. It's called itsalmostover.com. No pictures, no questions. All you do is send in your latest 401k statement and any special dietary needs. I found a woman who could eat solid food. So I arranged to pick her up at the usual time, 4:30 in the afternoon. We made it to Bob Evans in plenty of time for the early bird special. 5:30, we're talking, having dessert, talking about our kids, and she tells me, every day I get up and call my son at 6 o'clock in the morning. I said, how come? Well, he's in the Marines and he's a hard time waking up. Now this bothered me on 2 levels. First, that our national security depended on her remembering to call her son every day. And secondly, it told me she was a helicopter parent. I was just the opposite. I was a submarine parent. I had no idea what was going on in the surface. When my daughter was in high school, Titanic was out. It was the longest movie. It was like 3 hours. I believed her when she told me she saw Titanic 5 Fridays in a row, because she figured out how to get home at the right time. 10 years later, her conscience got to her, and she came up to me and she said, Dad, I never saw the movie Titanic. So I started to wonder what other things she had told me that might not have been true. Maybe the school library didn't stay open until 2 o'clock in the morning. Maybe school didn't end in April. And maybe her senior year, every Friday was not bring a 6-pack for the homeless day. because none of that beer ever came back, and we felt good about it. So anyways, you guys have been a great audience. Thank you very much.